What's up, everybody? It's your boy Keefe. I'm back, and the power of Dio compels you to look out for this live stream. Fun with Funko Pops. It's Keefe at GhostColdMan.com, back with another live stream thing on the web for you. We got a topic to talk about today, and super excited. Already got a message that says, I wrestled the bear once is trash. Amazing, but not right. Andrew Martin is here. Dizziness Black Metal is here. Probably people who do not like I Wrestled a Bear Once. Today's topic. Javier Salgado 7 is here. I particularly chose this image of I Wrestled a Bear Once to just what they meant to do, which was trigger neckbeards and black metal fans. But if you're watching this on any of the places enabled by StreamYard, our partner and affiliate for this, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, looks like Twitch is not here yet. Hold on a second. All right. There we go. All right. Yes, Twitch should be just coming on now. As usual, the best experience for this live stream and any of our live stream stuff is Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, but we're also hanging out on TikTok. Thanks for being here. If you're here, like and subscribe. If you love rock and metal and want to be informed on rock and metal stuff, we are the people to follow, because since 2012, the year of the doomsday clock, Ghost Cult has been your everyday resource for rock and metal news, interviews, concert and festival reviews all over the world, and all kinds of stuff, geek culture and nerd shit. So that's what we do here. We've been doing live streams every day recently just to try it out and see how it goes. Slow Burn 333 is here. And some people start to file in on YouTube and other places. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. And yeah, this story hit this week. Been kind of rumblings that this would be a news story soon. We got wind that this would be a thing. Kathy 60614 is here. Join the conversation. Feel free to ask questions. We answer everybody's questions. Obviously, if you want to give us a super thanks or a super like or a super chat on YouTube, if you want to buy us a coffee on Ko-fi, drop us some money on PayPal, we won't say no, because it helps keep the lights on. Maybe I should get a little pay menu at some point and add it to the streams. I know everybody kind of does that. It's very popular, but I don't. But if you ask a question, especially on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, I will pop it up on screen. If you ask me on TikTok and Instagram, I'll at least give you a shout out, I promise. Victor's here. Beckley is here. Gozer is here. That's fun. TikTok's always so fun with some interesting people. Always fun and interesting. All right. So let's talk about I Wrestled a Bear Once. I Wrestled a Bear Once, in case you're not familiar, was a math rock metalcore band starting out in the late aughts, the 2000s, and running until the mid 2000s. And then they kind of didn't really make an announcement about breaking up or retiring, but they absolutely went on a hiatus at the very least. Pete 3421 is here. And so, you know, for a spell, they were the it band. They really captured, like, I don't know if it was a good or a bad sign of the times that all these metalcore and scene core bands had become very big. But because of that, we got a lot of interesting music, especially a lot of genre blending mathcore bands, you know, possibly inspired by Dillinger Escape Plan. Mostly. And I Wrestled a Bear Once was one of the more interesting cases in a band kind of arriving on the scene and just becoming a big deal in no time. And, you know, just wild. Just wild times, as San Francisco is going to San Francisco behind me. As I send a text message to someone that I'm busy. Mark's Metal Minute is passing by. Hi, Mark's Metal Minute. I don't know if Mark was ever a fan of I Wrestled a Bear Once. His TikTok channel is awesome. He's also on other places like YouTube and Instagram. You should follow him everywhere. But he's great. But yeah, I Wrestled a Bear Once. Such a fascinating history, such an interesting story. You know, Like such good times were had. I first became aware of this band. Obviously, you know, I was already a music journalist when they hit, and you know, it was fascinating. I was like, oh, you know, this band seems interesting. Let's check out what they're about. They dropped their debut EP on a small label, and then they kind of went over to Century Media for their debut. And I remember seeing them live on like one of the craziest shows I've ever seen at the Worcester Palladium upstairs. And it was OTEP. They Will Know Us by the Trail of the Dead. I Wrestled a Bear Once. A death metal band I can't remember. And Butcher Babies. And this is right when Butcher Babies first came out, and they were coming out in like the nipple tape, and they had been like Penthouse models and DJs in LA, and they had been like a lot of hype with them, and I was into them. I thought they were fun, and they had a lot of potential, and the crowd seemed particularly hostile to them, and I didn't understand why, especially like it seemed like a very mixed crowd. I think especially, you know, this is 2009. OTEP is also very established by this time. She had been out for about 7 or 8 years. And Trail of the Dead was like, why are we on this show? Just kind of mirthlessly riffing and not interacting with the crowd or anything. They seemed pretty antisocial, actually. And then Iwabo was in the middle, and they were like a breath of fresh air. They were like fascinating. And they really won over the rest of the fans that night, which was super interesting. So, and they were just cuckoo. They were just crazy pants, like genres, blending, samples. The singer seemed super talented and engaged, and they were all kind of just like wilding out all over the stage, like performing like crazy. Great energy and stage presence. Matt Dillon 920 is here. Harrison is here. Jorge is here. Andy is here. So, yeah, I thought they were pretty fantastic, but definitely not for everybody, as math rock is not for everybody. We found that out with Dillinger. We found that out with a bunch of other bands. Not everybody's cup of tea, which is okay. Not everybody's going to be down with your band. It's just not possible. Somebody's hanging out on Facebook. Appreciate you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So, the reason we're talking about I Wrestle a Bear Once, and here's a more normal picture of them if you're interested. That drummer Jer is here. The reason we're talking about them is because they have been defunct for quite a while. And their bassist, Ricky Rickshaw Martin, has a podcast called Nerding Out with Rickshaw. And they frequently are asked about I Wrestled a Bear Once, and they have kind of gone their separate ways. And the final lineup of I Wrestled a Bear Once included the 2 co-founders of Spirit Box, who are now Spirit Box. So people are always curious about I Wrestled a Bear Once, and it kind of ended in a kind of vague way. But Ricky's podcast has been an opportunity for him to talk about the band and kind of reflect positively on the experience. Wasn't always the best experience for them. Originally, I think they were from Shreveport, Louisiana. The singer, Krista Cameron, also spent some time in Long Island and moved back and forth, I think, between the 2 places. And they relocated to LA as Century Media invested money and time into them and wanted them to stay close to LA. And I think they worked at the Century Media offices at one point and kept odd jobs to be able to live in LA, which is, you know, even if you're all living together, a fortune. But, and then kind of they hit big. They captured kind of the zeitgeist. A lot of metal magazines and websites were like, what is this band? They're sick. And then they kind of fizzled out over lineup changes and other things. It's IEIC is passed by. Fresh Stories 999 is passed by. So Ricky has his podcast, and Krista has a podcast, and frequently has had Krista on as a guest. And then they started talking kind of, should we bring the band back at some point? Would you like to bring the band back? And, it had been kind of a rough ending of the band for them. And Krista had quit earlier, like a couple years earlier before their demise. And, I'd always been like, had other musical projects, but had a family now and her own personal business. And like, maybe it wasn't realistic for them to come back. They were all kind of off doing different things. Stephen Bradley is a photographer and a marketing manager. and other people who've been in and out of the band have bands. Obviously, Ricky is podcasting and doing other things. And so nerding out with Rickshaw. I love this Warped Tour esque logo. This is really cool. So they come on, and for a second, I believe I first saw the news of the story happen because Lamb Goat, who we are part of the Lamb Goat Media Network, by the way, Lamb Goat had sort of transcripted some of their stuff. So let me see if I can share the screen and read the article to you guys. And again, feel free to jump in the comments and ask some questions. Let's find out. We'll do the full screen. You don't need to look at my face for this. Not you, dumbass. How's everybody doing there today? My football team sucks. We got destroyed by the horrible Falcons and the Giants, and so here I am doing a podcast. So Mike Rickshaw Martin addresses the possibility of an I Wrestled a Bear Once reunion. And they got the name I Wrestled a Bear Once from like a Gary Busey interview, by the way, which is pretty funny. Because he's out there. So it looks like we may get an I Wrestled a Bear Once reunion at some point in the future. During an episode of Nerding Out with Rickshaw, Mike Rickshaw Martin confirmed he'd been discussing the idea with Krista Cameron. Martin said the following, and I'll just read this first part of this excerpt. Hey, I've always thought right now with the lineup, the old school lineup with Krista, I always thought that like Krista, Steven are really the ones that need to hammer it out if it was ever going to happen, the reunion. But the other day, I'm not going to be 100% and give you all the stuff right now, but I will tell you some of the details right now. Right now, it's too many right nows, bro. Right now, I was talking to Krista on the phone, and she's like, yeah, we were catching up about this, we're catching up about that. And she's like, a lot of people always hit me up in my DMs, and they're talking about when's the Iwabo reunion? When's I Wrestled a Bear Once coming back? And, yeah, hold on. Good time for a computer freeze up. And I'm like, yeah, obviously, Krista. Like, I do a show where we talk about music, and there's a lot of people in here. When is Iwabo coming back? There's comments. Everybody hits me up, and I'm like, hey, check out my new band. And people are like, okay, but when's Iwabo coming back? You know what I mean? So that's what I have to deal with, And I'm telling this to Krista, and she's like, well, Ricky Rickshaw, would you do it? Would you ever do it if we were asked to do a reunion? And I was like, Krista, I'm the only one playing shows for 40 people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out here doing, vocals in a new heavy band. And I said, yes, Krista, obviously I would play with Iwabo again. Let's do it. And I was like, what about you, Krista? What do you think about this? And she's like, I would fucking love to do an Iwabo reunion. So that's where we're at. So at least there's a positive conversation going on about I Wrestled a Bear Once. Greg Kennelty is passing by. You should all follow him on TikTok or YouTube. Greg is the news editor. I don't know what your title is, Greg, at Metal Injection, a peer site of ghost cults. So, we need to be talking about it. We need to be posting about it. If you're a fan and you want to see this, he's telling the fans, lube up and get ready for, get ready for things. So that's kind of where they're at. Maybe they come back. That's the thing. And so, it kind of stirred a conversation in their fan base, but it also stirred a lot of people on Reddit talking about other things related to the band. And I thought to myself, like, maybe this band has been gone for so long, and math rock has kind of invaded the mainstream a little bit now with Spirit Box and Ginger and a bunch of other bands, Callous Dow Boys and a few others, and the return of Dillinger Escape Plan's sort of somewhat classic lineup, classic vocalist. I was like, maybe people don't remember I Wrestled a Bear Once. So maybe I'm going to play some I Wrestled a Bear Once. I don't play that much music on these live streams. Gil Ortiz is here. Ashley 4952 is here. I'm trying not to get demonetized. So let's play a little Iwabo. First, let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. Nope, not missing anything there. And let's go play some Iwabo song clips. And let's see what you think. If you remember this band, if you care, if you want this band to come back. I Wrestled a Bear Once on YouTube. I Wrestled a Bear Once. Brooklyn Miss is passing by. What up, Brooklyn Miss? How are you? Lunchbox Bob is here. What's up, Lunchbox? One of my nicknames. We're just talking about I Wrestle a Bear once today. And since football season sucks for me and is over, so I thought I would play some I Wrestle a Bear once music and talk about whether they should come back or not. Here's the Cat's Pajamas, one of their first big hits. And this is with the original singer, Krista Cameron. Oh, there's an ad because I don't have my correct account logged into.
Just use
Holy
Pi.
shit.
It's a free Chrome extension that's actually made by...
Shut the fuck up.
How you doing? This next song is called The Cat's Pajamas.
This is, unfortunately for y'all on TikTok, you cannot hear it, so you need to come over to YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram. But it's all good. We're watching The Cat's Pajamas by I Wrestled a Bear Once for a second. So this is a live concert video with the track. Very indicative of their style, right? Little palpable pop song part, brutal deathcore, death metal part, hardcore halftime beat, a lot of jumping around, a lot of spinning guitars, swoopy hair, 2009. So that's a good one. Let's see what else. Before I worked at Ghost Cult and owned Ghost Cult, I worked at a website called Metal Army America, and we had done some premieres with them. And we had done the video. We had done one of the video premieres for this song. This was probably one of their most popular videos and songs. Danger in the Manger. A little bit of a story here. Creepy cameraman thing they just did there. What's in the box? I just told you. CD tower. Oh my god, remember all the CDs you used to burn? What's in the box? Oh, I can't. Fluffkins, what are you doing in there? This is way too much intro for a 2-minute song. A Viewmaster. Oh my god. Taking it back to my childhood. She's got the Viewmaster. Oh my gosh. This was probably hard to find in 2007. My hand hands her the Viewmaster disc. That's crazy. Oh, it's all happening. That was their record. I have this on vinyl. Danger. Kind of sounds like Blue Oyster Cult a little bit. Not on purpose. Maybe. Damn. Video's hilarious. Very bad CGI green screen. Nice double, please. DJ the Juggalos here. We're just talking about whether I Wrestle a Bear Once should make a comeback. And we're watching some videos on YouTube and Twitch. The dog is playing piano. It's crazy. This from Devil Day here. What up, Abe? video is like a Fellini nightmare. The fever dream of craziness. They all have hair. That's like MySpace hair, we'll call it. So that's Danger in the Manger. And so I was saying I worked at a website before Ghost Cult called Metal Army America. And iwrestledabearonce hit the scene. They became huge. They played Warped Tour. And they released a couple of pretty big albums, including It's All Happening. And they were kind of like the little girl with the curl. They were very popular for a hot minute. And then, they hit some problems like a lot of people do. Bells ringing 20. What up, Dario? What up? The championship. What up? Thanks for passing by. We're talking about whether I Wrestled a Bear Once should return. And yeah, they kind of had a lineup change. Krista became pregnant. She announced during a Warped Tour that she was pregnant from her partner and that she was going to take a hiatus from the band. She was replaced as a tour replacement by Courtney LaPlante, now of Spirit Box today. And then they announced Krista was not coming back and Courtney was the permanent new vocalist. We don't play tracks on here, barely. This is one of the few times we've ever played music on these live streams. But if you want Ace, DM me a linktree or a Spotify link or a Bandcamp link. Or you can email me always at submissions@ghostcultmag.com. You see the ticker. Oh, you're not watching on TikTok, but on TikTok we have the ticker with our website. And then they kind of just disappeared. And then Courtney and Mike, who partnered up and got married, ended up officially quitting Spirit Box, although I think they were kind of broken up already and just didn't want to announce it because they were hoping to make a comeback. And then they formed their own band as Spirit Box in 2017. And here we are today, where Spirit Box 7 years later is one of the biggest bands. So yeah, this is the Nerding Out podcast, and he really promoted this. Just a reminder before we finish the rest of this stream, tonight, overnight, Monday morning, aka late Sunday night in the rest of the world, Ghost Cult will be dropping our 2024 Albums of the Year extravaganza. Myself and a bunch of our crew. A bunch of our crew joined up together. My partner, Omar Cordy, is popping in here on YouTube to remind us that Iwabo just ended, no announcement, which, is weird back then. A lot of bands like to make dramatic, we're quitting and retiring announcements. And I think it was probably like the rest of the band, the core, Steven and Ricky, didn't want to say it was over. And Stringer and Courtney split, partnered up, fell in love, married, and were leaving to go start Spirit Box. But, they needed to kind of put distance from themselves between the band. They made a statement that they didn't know the status of the band, but felt like it was over. And they said they were tired of being the new people in the band. And that's why they wanted to leave and do their own thing, even though they liked being part of the band. But yeah, so Ghost Cult's extravaganza, our countdown of 2024 top albums, is coming tomorrow, aka later tonight. So it'll be here on YouTube. It'll be streaming it'll be a podcast. It'll be a website post. We're going to roll them all out and then let us know what you think. If we got it right, if we got it wrong, did we miss a band you like? Drop a comment and tell us your favorite album of the year right now and tune in later. If you like and sub to us on our podcast or our YouTube, you will 100% find out when it goes live. And then I like to say lately, this streaming experience is brought to you by the grace of our affiliate partner, StreamYard. Album of the Year, so much work every year. I don't know that we could have done it any better this year than how we did it and when we did it. I'll just say one thing about Albums of the Year and being a music journalist. Victor Ogogo is here. Orgo. One of those things about having Albums of the Year thing is like, oh, the year's not over. How are you doing this? Blackie Chan has popped by. Anthony V. Bad is here. Thunder Lightning is here. I hope that's a Thin Lizzy reference. And Reckless Savage is here. I'm just Reckless Savage. That's probably what it is, but I like you. I like your screen name, Reckless Savage, and your little profile picture. So much work to do the album of the year stuff. When you're a music journalist, you get sent all the music early. So we knew all the releases that were coming out and going to be released. So if we put an album of the year out December 1st or December 23rd, we already heard these records. We knew what was coming out. Well, not all the records are out yet. A bunch of terrible black metal records on Christmas Day, one or two other records that decided to put out late in the year because they don't care, or the record label couldn't January to November period. If you care about such things like awards and countdown lists and you want to be included in these things, put your record out by the beginning of November. Just do it. Opeth's only came out in late November because their vinyl was delayed, but we all heard the record in like September. And I've already heard some of the records for January, and I like quite a few of them. So I'm already getting on to my list for next year. So, but this streaming experience, if you're watching, unfortunately, everywhere but TikTok, is brought to you by StreamYard, our affiliate partner, with their notable duck logo. StreamYard is your one-stop shop for streaming excellence. It allows us to have our little screen picture-in-picture deck. It allows me to see the comments from Omar and some of you. It allows me to have the ticker at the bottom or pump your comments into here. I'll put the comments into the thing because, hey, I can do that with StreamYard. Look at this. Yo, they said Iwabo just ended. No announcement. And I can see who's watching and where, and actually helps me do a better job as a host. So StreamYard, we have a link in our description. If you sign up with our link for StreamYard, if you want to stream on Twitch or YouTube and pull in all your socials in the same place and have the same fun experience I'm having, you get $10 off with your subscription with our link in the description, and we get $10 off our next bill. So it's kind of a Dutch rudder hit. You know, it's like a double dicks thing. It's awesome. We all benefit. We all win. Omar rules. Omar does rule. You do rule, pal. I appreciate you. The Friendly Men is here. Frequent Ghost Cult regular, The Friendly Men on TikTok. If you're on other socials, let us know. So moving along with the lecture at hand, here's a more normal picture of Iwabo. I definitely picked this was like one of the more favorite things when It's All Happening was going to come out. Their second album, Ruining It for Everything, was announced. They did this photo shoot. There's their records. It's kind of a swath of their artwork. They did this black metal photo shoot with Jeremy Saffer, who's one of our friends and colleagues. You might have seen the interview. So you know how long I've listened to this live stream. Yeah, I got you in your jokes. Only we know that in joke, buddy. So they did this photo shoot and they made a press release through Century Media at the time that was like, we're going black metal. Keeks is here. Is your name Kiki? And Sean is also here. So they were like, we're going all black metal. The new album is 90% black metal. We decided we're black metal. Did this corpse paint photo shoot, and there's like the photos are still on Metal Injection. You can go see them there. Or Metal Sucks, I think. Metal Sucks. And they have like a mace and swords, and they're doing all the invisible oranges thing. And everybody was upset for a day. Like, oh my God, I hate this band. Why are they fucking now going to be black metal? Fuck them. Black metal people hated it. Neckbeard thrash dudes and hardcore dudes already hated them anyway. Not me, but other people. And then it was like, oh, we're just goofing on you. Our new record is called Ruining It for Everybody, and we just showed you how. Which I thought was like really smart, good marketing, really clever. It certainly got everybody talking about them in the whole world. But they did this photo shoot. It made everybody butthurt. And like I said, after a couple more years, Krista leaves the band, and Courtney, who had come in as a guest vocalist on tour, now becomes the permanent vocalist. And they put out a few other albums with Courtney, and then the band kind of fizzled. And so now, you know, like an important thing to keep in mind is Spirit Box is one of the hottest bands right now. They opened for Korn and Slipknot, and they played all these festivals, and they opened for Gojira and Mastodon, and they're signed to Rock Nation, Jay-Z's management company, and they did songs with Megan Thee Stallion, who co-signed them, and they did like remixes with her, and then they're in a video with her, and then they're everywhere. You know, I don't think it's detrimental. It's so hard to break through and get through the mainstream and get seen or heard by anybody in your genre or out. You know, they're one of the most exciting and interesting, cool bands, and I don't really, you know, I don't know if I would, you know, say math rock inspired metalcore. But they're capable of doing all kinds of different things. And we've seen that Courtney LaPlante could, you know, is clearly become one of the greatest vocalists in music, as Krista was before her. Krista, I was saying I wrote for a website before Ghost Cult called Metal Army America, where I called Krista Cameron the next Mike Patton. And that sounds like hyperbole because I consider Mike Patton to be the best singer in the world in rock or metal. And Krista era was more light and fun. Courtney, 2 albums got heavier, angrier, and darker. I think it was reflecting what their struggles were, my friend. Absolutely what they were going through. So Spirit Box, who is going to continue, they had a huge year where they really didn't even put out that much music. They put out some EPs and some singles, obviously. The Food Atlas is here. Keith Stein is here. What's up, Keith? I emailed you. I don't know if you saw it. I did finally get back to you. Karen Scott passed by. What's up, Karen? Mike Patton is phenomenal. Keith, Mike Patton is one of my heroes. I love Mike Patton. My frequent Faith No More, Mr. Bungle, Lovage, everything is in my karaoke permanent playlist. Faith No More is one of my top 5 bands ever. So Spirit Box continues to rise, and they have a new record coming out next year. And this is the cover. And just people are saying, like Reddit in particular, Reddit and Discord were saying, oh, I didn't know you were on vacation. Happy vacation, happy holidays, Keith. No, I'm sorry. People are like, well, they're only going to come back now because Spirit Box is big. I think it's very clear that the lineup reunion would be an OG reunion of Spirit Box that could only happen with Krista, Rickshaw, and Steven. That's what their plan is. They're not trying to, and again, like I said, like Courtney and Mike left I Wrestled the Bear once saying they were unhappy being the replacement players and not felt like permanent members, whatever that means. The business of the band, maybe it was the money split, maybe whatever it was. This is one of my favorite pictures of Courtney LaPlante. Please LaPlante that ass right on me. Jesus Christ. Stormland, what up, yo? Omar Rules. Stormland is here. We were chatting earlier offline. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're well. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that. It's also Nick Cameron's birthday this week. It's a holiday in my life. Omar Cut This is like our nickname for Omar on the Glacially Musical Podcast. I don't even think he knows it. He doesn't even know it. Sam is here. You photographed I Wrestled the Bear once while Krista was still the singer, did portraits of them. That's amazing. I also photographed them once. They were notoriously fun and hard to photograph. And then, but like I said, right before, at the beginning of this live stream, if you go back and rewatch it on YouTube or somewhere else, we, look at you handsome mofo. I'm going to leave that up for a minute. Oh, thank you very much. I try. I photographed them. I saw them many times with both Krista and once with Courtney. And, I love the band. And so I wouldn't mind seeing Spirit Box. I wouldn't mind seeing Iwabo come back. I'd like to hear Krista do stuff. I wouldn't mind hearing them make a new song or a new EP. But again, people have families, jobs, things get in the way. I don't think like, I can't listen to any more of your voice if I don't have to edit it. Oh, you shut the fuck up. By the way, I went so hard in yesterday's live stream podcast about Alice in Chains, and I particularly went on a soapbox against Senator Rand Paul that we might have got flagged on YouTube for it. I should watch my shit. But I was like, those are just a punchable fucking face, and I shouldn't have said all that. I felt like 10 minutes. I probably should control myself. But anyway, Courtney, goddamn, great singer. We interviewed them. We had one of the first big interviews with them when Holy Roller came out before their album was announced, Eternal Blue. And now they've had a series of EPs, and now another new album, a full length is coming. And, I just see bigger and bigger things for them. Sarmona Says is here. What up? What up? So here's some bands that, again, I Wrestled the Bear once, who themselves were influenced by other math rock bands and metalcore bands and avant-garde hardcore bands like Converge. God Forbid is here on Instagram. What up, God Forbid? Regret missing Iwabo and that first Spirit Box show in Canada. Well, I don't know if we had passports back then. So in addition to themselves being influenced by bands like Dillinger, Escape Plan, and Dead Guy and Converge and Cave In, I Wrestled the Bear Once's legacy is that of inspiring other bands. Here's the Callous Dow Boys. I kind of hate their name. They're kind of like if Up With People was a gent crazy mathcore band, but they're a lot of fun live. I saw them last year with Rollo Tomasi, who were phenomenal. Another band clearly inspired by I Wrestled a Bear Once and Spirit Box. What up, B? God forbid says, good to see y'all. Thanks for chiming in to our live stream. Here's Ginger. Ginger is, again, another one of these pinnacle bands. Maybe because they're so heavy, there might be like a ceiling on how popular they will ever get. But they also have a new record coming out this year in 2025 on Napalm Records Duel. And their first single and video came out. And Tati is laying on a river of grapes. It's bizarre in the same fun, bizarre way I Wrestled a Bear Once was fun and bizarre when they first started out. So, they're a band clearly influenced by Iwabo. And again, here is Infected Rain, who we've interviewed a couple of times. Great band. Lena Scissorhands, super good. Yeah, Unicron was Courtney's band, and they were on Long Island, right? I think. Were they a Long Island band? I don't recall. Killer EP. Some of you might be here because of the Infected Rain interviews. They've been so huge. Even the shorts we did as clips from those videos. Thank you, Omar. Have done huge numbers. People love Lena Scissorhands. She's incredibly talented. She's also very attractive. So I don't know if that's part of it, but people are just obsessed with her and her, she's like heavily tatted and just, but nice as can be. Nice as can be. Oh, Canadian. Okay, fair enough. Maybe that's why she's so nice. Maybe that's why they live near Vancouver. I think that's probably it. So, I Wrestled a Bear Once. I think it'd be very interesting to see them come back. Furnace Fest, which is apparently going to come back one more time, would be the ideal place for them to reunite, or New England Metal and Hardcore Fest, because that was one of the places where they started to ascend from a second stage band to a first stage band. Also, the Danny Wimmer festivals would probably, as much love as they've shown Spirit Box, I could absolutely see an I Wrestled a Bear Once reunion at some of these bigger festivals. And I feel like mathcore was like the common sense next step from nu metal, because there's also a tiny bit of nu metal fairy dust that rubs off onto math rock. I think math rock definitely existed before nu metal, or concurrent to nu metal. I remember seeing Dillinger Escape Plan on a pop-up trailer in a mall in New Jersey. God forbid you guys remember the Rexplex, which was like an entertainment center, mall shopping center, fucking indoor ski rink, skating rink, bowling alley, laser tag, movie theater. And there was a Jack Kaushik Metal Fest part of that thing once. And as to promote it, there was like a sideshow in the mall itself. And Dillinger played there. And Omar and I saw one of the first Dillinger comeback shows at No Values Fest. I'll link that here in the description and maybe in the video. Watching Dillinger with Dimitri blow the minds of a bunch of people there to see, like Social D and like a Bad Religion and Suicidal, and they were like watching Dillinger and like, what is happening? I don't understand. Does not compute, but they were brilliant, and it was a great moment for me. Stormland writes, funny how Victoria, BC has spawned two of the foremost bands with women fronting them at the moment. Also Unleash the Archers. Also the great Devin Townsend is from Vancouver, BC, no? And also 3 Inches of Blood, and probably associated bands with those folks. So yeah, of course, man. Spirit Box and Unleash the Archers, Victoria bands. That's correct. Victoria is like an island off Vancouver. My geography's bad. I apologize. Christmas is here. Christmas Lint. Ruben Morales is here. Baum is here. Ronald Kidwell is here. Doom Guy is popping by. What up, what up, what up? And then Omar is going to say, I played with Dillinger at Coney Island High with Salty Wounds. Amazing. I remember that show. I think I missed your band at that show. It was also later my band, but I think I missed you guys. But I was late coming to there from work. I had work and school at the time. Oh, no, I was out of school. I was work. I worked a double shift unexpectedly at my job, and I had to work late, and I showed up just in time for Dillinger, and you guys had already played. But we weren't friends yet. Is that 97, 98? What year is that, Omar? Because I think we were not yet buddies. We were not friends until the fall of 1998. Unfortunately, I know you for 26 years? Fuck. Dev, 3 Inches of Blood. Victoria is on Vancouver Island, which is just across the Salish Sea from it. Say that 5 times fucking fast. That's like a riddle you have to give the wizard to get pass entry into the fucking thing. 98. Yeah, I think it was right before we were pals. 98. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good one. Stormland coming in with all the Vancouver, British Columbia band knowledge. I appreciate you so much. And check out your music on Bandcamp and Ampwall probably and other places. And I think you're working on some new stuff. But yeah, should this band come back? I want to see I Wrestle the Bear Once come back with their original lineup. No. Oh, here's one more thing. The World Tour canceled shirt. That's right, the infamous shirt. One thing that I Wrestle the Bear Once did in addition to their music was like their shirt game, right? And this was the era of like the metalcore verb the noun bands, right? Attack and all these weird bands. So look at these crazy shirts. I just pulled these off the internet basically. Auntie Mosby's is here. What's up, Gabe? We're just talking about if I Wrestle the Bear Once should get back together. And their shirt game was crazy. These are actually tame. They used to have these wild, the bottom right-hand corner one is more indicative of the type of shirts. They used to have these wild Dayglow colors that really it was like the whole MySpace era, swoopy scene core, easy core, scrams and screamo kind of bands that all had these crazy Dayglow vomit up shirts, some of which I also had. I have an I Wrestle the Bear One shirt in here somewhere. And I would like to almost get a new one, but I like to see them come back, man. I think it would be fun for music for them to make a comeback. Me and my cleverness, for this, I was like, Iwabo is back. And again, these triggering black metal photos of I Wrestle the Bear Once that nobody liked except me. You have the metal just got gay. Yep, that was, it went hard. They went hard. Gilo Ortiz, what up? Jeeve is here. I'd like to see this band come back, and no, it will not be the Spirit Box lineup. There's no acrimony. I believe that Courtney has been on Krista's podcast and Verse Visa. I think they're friendly. I think there was never any beef that I know of. Maybe fans wanted there to be beef, but I would like to see them come back. Again, Spirit Box is busy and has their own thing. It would be fun if they all did a show together. Maybe you could get everybody that has ever been in Iwabo to come in and be, that's still on good terms, to come in and be on a show like Kitty did a few years ago. I Am Surreal is here. But I want to see him come back. Let me know if you're watching this on the replay or you're hanging around as we wind this down. If you want to drop a comment and tell us, should they come back? What other bands do you miss that are broken up that should make a comeback? Everybody always says Bolt Thrower. I dug Krista's Imperium Lights. Yeah, expect them to do a duet at some point. Wouldn't it be cool if Spirit Box had Krista come on and do a duet? They'd be sick together. We just saw Spirit Box actually just do a festival run in America where they did a duet with Ginger, they did a duet with Poppy, they did a duet with someone else. It was wild, and it was great. I think it was Louder Than Life, which we covered. It's in our review. I'll also link that here. DJ Dangerous is here. What up? Are you dangerous on the dance floor? Madness K is here. I'm sometimes Madness K. Keefy. I want to see him come back. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be good for music. I don't know with everything going on in their lives if they could do a full-on reunion, but I bet if there's a bag of money at the end of the rainbow, they will come out for it. And like I said, Furnace Fest would be ideal for this. New England Metal and Hardcore would be ideal for this. I think some of the European festivals would love to have an I Wrestle the Bear Once to promote Bloodstock Open Air and stuff like that. Hellfest. I think it could happen. SOD. Well, I think SOD will never happen again. I think you could get MOD with Billy, or you could get SOD with Scott and Charlie and Frank or Dan and a new vocalist. I do not think that Billy Milano will ever be on the same page. He said so much nasty, negative, and perhaps true shit about Charlie and Scott from Anthrax that I don't think those guys would ever entertain a reunion. And you almost can't have SOD because everybody be trying to cancel them. The minute they peek their head out, like literally like come out from behind the tree like this guy, the minute they stick their head out, like the whole internet will come to cancel them over everything they ever did. Everybody, you're all too soft, man. Like, I went too hard yesterday in my little soapboxing, but let's just say a lot of y'all are a bunch of little bitches. Like, for real. Y'all are not cool. You can't take a joke. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or shit on people unnecessarily and punch down transgressively, but lighten up a little, motherfuckers. Lighten up. Ragged Bird's music is here. Hello. We do need more God forbid on some of these festivals. Yo, we do. We do, God forbid. We do. I hope you're paying attention. We do. I have not gotten to see them yet. I need a chance to see them. I can't go out like this. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going there. I want to see these folks. It's my time. When's it going to be my time, Lord? When's it going to be my time? Yeah, Omar got to see, God forbid, play 3 times in California last weekend. I'm sure you're glad to be home. And yeah, like what? Anybody else? Any other bands you missed that you would like to see come back? Instagram, TikTok, talk to me. YouTube, talk to me. Stormland, if you're still around, what band would you like to see come back? Gabe, do you have a band you'd like to see make new music that hasn't come back in a long time? I'm getting my wish next year. Kailisa is reuniting for a bunch of headline shows and festivals in Europe. No news yet if they're going to play the U.S. I can't imagine they wouldn't do like a secret show or warm-up show somewhere in the southeast of the USA before they come back. But I'm super hype. I'm so excited about Kailisa coming back. One of my favorite bands of the last 15 years. Third run with them. Happy they like you. Yeah, somebody's got to like you. I barely like you. Hopefully you're editing videos while you're doing this, while you're watching and commenting. Get to work. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting my wish with Kailisa. There's a few other. Shadows Fall played last night. They still have only done a handful of shows and one new song, but they have a new record deal and perhaps at least an EP, if not a full album. I'm sure that record label wants a whole album out of them anyway. So maybe we're going to get our wish. I hope so. I really hope so. It'd be fucking fun. And I think that's about it, rather than just talk in circles at myself and a few of you. I'm going to go, but if you managed to be here the whole way, you're a real one, and I appreciate you. Please ding that bell, like and subscribe, get all the notifications, find out when we go live. We've been doing, I think I'll do at least another couple of weeks where I do a live stream every day or every day or so. It's the holidays. There's not much going on in my life. At least all next week I'll do one. And then we'll see after the 1st. It's going to get hectic for me. Still at work, outside video mapping. Jesus. Oh, that's right. I forgot you worked today. I thought you were going to be home by 6 Eastern. Kurt Cobain's gal is here. I'll tell you a controversial take. Courtney Love didn't do shit. Kurt killed himself, period. Anywho, damn, that sucks. I think it sucks. Or if you're on the clock and you're making money, I guess it doesn't suck. But I thought you were going to be home by now. Yeah, man, it's all good. It's all good. Everybody's been here. I appreciate you all for watching. Thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow probably with another thing. We'll see what the next week brings. Happy holidays if I don't see you all. And keep it metal. Appreciate you all. Peace. I hate long goodbyes.